Hey YouTube, Skipper T here. A couple weeks ago I did a video called the 3-cook stove comparison, and in that I compared the alcohol stove to the Sterno wood burner stove, or single burner stove rather, and another one that I've got. And anyway, during the process I thought maybe I would come back and do the Tex Sport 9 cup coffee making test with the alcohol stove. I'm new to the alcohol stoves, and you know, I've cooked on them for about a dozen different times now, and I'm becoming more and more impressed all the time with this particular piece of equipment. So this morning I thought I would go ahead and do just that and see if we can't basically percolate ourselves a 9 cup pot of coffee, and I want to time it to see how long it's going to go. What I think we'll do is we'll wait till this thing blooms, and then once it blooms, then I'll start the timer from there, because we all know that it takes, you know, a minute or two for these things to heat up and do what they're supposed to do. So, maybe I'm using the wrong hand there. It would appear that was the case. Alright. Wind's kicking up a bit this morning. So hopefully that'll take off and go for us. While that's happening, and getting set up, I'll take the percolator cup, the long-handled Tex Sport. Comes in handy for a plethora of activities, and we will go ahead and load this thing up with some coffee. I'm not going to get real rambunctious with it because I've already got a pot being made indoors. So we've got that squared away. Yes, I do like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, by the way. So we got that squared. We'll put this back in the pot. And it does appear as though this old pot that I've been carrying for a long time with me has got a little bit of a leak right here at the bottom of the spout. And so it may end up being an 8.5 cup test, because it does come up, just a half an inch or so, quarter inch into this beveled edge here. So hopefully that won't be too big of an issue this morning, but nonetheless we should be able to get it to go. So like I said, once this thing blooms, we'll take off and get everything set, so stay with me. Okay guys, looks like she's blooming now. Took a little bit, probably about a minute and a half, 45 seconds or so for that to heat up. I could actually hear it coming up through the sides and getting ready to, you know, basically evaporate to the point where it'll catch those little rings around the outside on fire. Anyway, we'll go ahead and set our pot up on top. This is where the Alocs stove stand that comes with it's going to be coming in mighty handy. We'll get this set up. We've got the timer started on this, and once it's up and running, we'll see how long that takes. We'll be able to tell, because this does have the clear plastic thing at the top, and we're just going to see how long it takes to boil up 9 cups of water and make a pot of coffee with the Alocs alcohol stove. I did fill it even where the top comes down and it flares out with the basic part of the primary part of the stove itself. I filled that up, and I'm using 91% isopropyl alcohol in case anybody's curious. So once this gets going and stuff, guys, we'll come back and we'll show you how long it takes to boil up 9 cups of water and make a pot of coffee with this. Stay with me. Alright guys, we're about 4 or 5 minutes into it. Coming along nicely. You can see the water dripping off the front of my pot, and I think it's coming right out of the bottom of that pour spout there. There is probably a 3, maybe 4 mile-an-hour wind outside. You can see what it's doing to the flames there. I'm going to grab a piece of tin foil and make a wind block for that. Just wanted to show it to you guys. Okay, I went in and got a little tin foil. 2 pieces laid over top of each other, basically folded into thirds lengthwise, and seems to have calmed the fire down a little bit. It's got it doing what it's supposed to do now. It's concentrating it on the bottom of the pot, as it should be. And as a lot of people have reported, these things are very susceptible to wind, and here's proof of it yet again. Anyway, we'll be back. At about 23 minutes, I noticed that it was just starting to percolate. Let's see if we can get a visual. I think you can see that starting to pop up through the top portion of that. Hopefully the camera will focus on that. And here shortly it should start to turn brown. Stay with me. Okay guys, 25 minutes later, we've got a nice rolling boil going. I'm going to remove the tin foil, get that out of the way. Got my solo cup from the Coleman Solo Max. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Remember guys, always wear gloves with you because you never know when that's going to be too hot to handle. We'll snuff out the flame here. As soon as we took it off, quit doing its thing. That's mighty, mighty hot right there. And we'll pull this up. One thing I like about this pot is it does have the little lifting handle back here. Put a finger on the top. And oh yeah. Now we've got ourselves a nice hot cup of coffee. Took a little bit. I've had this 9-cup percolator for, God, 20 years or so. Like I said, it's just starting to leak a little bit right down here. Maybe I'll replace it, they're cheap. But made for a really nice cup of coffee. Perfect color. But it took about 25 minutes and I had to add that tinfoil windbreak around it. And kind of curious. Boy, I tell you what, I probably only have about maybe 3 to 5 more minutes worth of alcohol left in the stove here. It's down to probably 3/16 of an inch in the bottom here, and it was full to the bottom of the ring. I'll pull that out later, but anyway guys, took 25 minutes to boil up a pot of coffee, and that's the 9-cup Tex Sport and percolator. But thanks for watching. Remember, keep your eyes open, keep your heads up, and we'll see you outside.